How you doing? We all have to continue to practice. Everybody on the spiritual path to God, to enlightenment. We all have to continue to practice. Even the so-called people that say they're gurus or whatever, teachers. Everybody, while you're here on this earth, we're all going to still have to practice every day. Practice out our spirituality, practice out our righteousness, doing our good deeds, listening to God, following the grace, and doing what He's showing us to do. Going where we're being led to go, listening to God. We have to do that every day. That's never going to end, and that's, how we actually got in trouble in the first place, was because we, maybe heard that voice. We weren't too sure, and then we decided to listen to other voices that were leading us into other places, voices of addiction, voices, for smoking and drugs and pleasure, all of those things. And we listened to those voices, and then they led us off into places that, temporarily seemed like they were giving us salvation. But now we see that we've just become a slave. We've become a slave to things that, put us in a hypnotized state. And, that's what the Christ man is about. It's about breaking that hypnotism. And any good leader, teacher of God is going to help you break the hypnotism to be having attachments to anything of this world. They're not going to make you more hypnotized, especially to them, because that's what, many gurus and, preachers, all they're doing is making you more hypnotized to be attached to them. And, a good leader is going to help you to come to the truth gently and easily in your own time, but they're also going to want to release you so that you're not even attached to them, and because you can. It's only found in you. The truth is only found inside of you, and you eventually have to kind of like, making the jump. You eventually have to make that jump to where you come into your own self and look within your own self and find that truth of God within you, and not through anything else of the world, right? Not even through like music, because it's so subtle how we use things on a daily basis to try to, find God in it, or find some kind of pleasure, find something to satisfy that need within inside of us. And you can even use music, food is a big one, because really food is really attached to the sexual desire as well. But we use these things, and something that can really help you to begin to release yourself is to be doing meditation, prayer, and, just for a few minutes a day. Using meditation, which is really just being objective, because, some people teach meditation, but the meditation and things that they teach is hypnotic. It actually is just putting you in a hypnotic state. It's making you actually become more hypnotized and detached, and you're not actually really being helped. You're just kind of moving your attachments around to other things, replacing them. But you have to break the hypnotism, and really it's just by feeling the energy, coming to a place where you're objective and feeling the energy, and just closing your eyes and just looking at that darkness And you'll just notice when you look at the darkness, when you close your eyes and all the little things that maybe flashes of light and things, and then just feel the energy in your body. Do that for just a couple minutes, a few times a day. You'll notice that the more you do that every time you do that, you're detached, you're kind of moving back away from a lot of the thoughts that are going in your mind. And a lot of those thoughts you'll begin to recognize are attached to certain emotions. So really, you become emotional, and that's how you're actually, in a sense, you become hypnotized by emotion, and the emotion of fear and so-called love and pleasure and all these things bring about these emotions, and the thoughts that you have are also attached to these things too. So you have a thought, and then the emotion follows, and then you dive into that. But that's really only bringing you further away. It's not to say that you can't have emotion and all of that, but what we're talking about here is being controlled. You have to be the master of it. You have to be able to control it and not allow these things to control you, because that's where most people nowadays, are being controlled by their emotions, controlled by their thoughts, to where they're overtaken by them, and then they fall into addictions and all that. So God bless.